Well, guys, it's been over 2.5 weeks since I've last done this because I was busy with stuff, but it's now time to get back to Week 5 of the 2021 DCFL season. So, of course, here is the standings after Week 4. As we see, the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions lead the Eastern Conference with Jacksonville right behind, and then it's a tie with everyone else with New York having the tiebreaker into the playoffs. Then the Western Conference, we have a freeway tie between Kansas City, Oakland, Tacoma for the top 3 seeds in the playoffs, with Kansas City having the number 1 spot, followed by Seattle, Chicago, and San Diego. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at the matchups for Week 5 as we start off with the Baltimore Charm hosting the Boston Red Jackets. That'll be big in the playoff spot. Then the Philadelphia Sonics visiting the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions. That's also big, but probably the biggest matchup, of course, is the Jacksonville Scouts at the New York Gangsters. Then in the Western Conference, we have the Kansas City Arrowheads visiting the Tacoma Slashers with the division lead on the line. Then it'll be the Seattle Tenyo visiting the Oakland Pillagers. And finally wrap up with the San Diego Mean Green Machines visiting the Chicago Staleys. And here are the results for Week 5 as we start off with Boston and Baltimore, as it was a low-scoring defensive game until the fourth quarter where it went back and forth, but in the end Baltimore won it 24-21 to move to 3-2 as Boston falls to 2-3. Meanwhile, Philadelphia at Indianapolis. Indianapolis destroyed Philadelphia in the second quarter as they won it 47-10 to stay undefeated as Philadelphia falls to 2-3. Meanwhile, Jacksonville at New York. New York has 17-0 lead at one point. Then, Jacksonville scored 22 unanswered points to take a 22-17 lead going into the fourth quarter. But then New York exploded in the fourth quarter to score 10 points to win the game 27-22 in a comeback, as they are both now 3-2. Then, in the Western Conference, Tacoma had a 23-10 lead at one point. Looked like they were going to run away with it. But then, Kansas City made the giant comeback to take the lead 27-26 with just 2 minutes remaining. But that was no problem for Tacoma as they went downfield and got the game-winning touchdown to win it 32-27 in a thrilling comeback as they are now 3-2 and leading the division. What a stunning performance that this new team is doing so far as they're 3-2 as Kansas City falls to 2-3. Meanwhile, Seattle at Oakland. Oakland pretty much was in control for the entire game despite Seattle making it close as they won at 24-22 as they're 3-2 as Seattle falls to 1-4. And meanwhile, San Diego at Chicago. As Chicago has now won 2 in a row as they won 24-7 as they're now 2-3 as San Diego falls to 1-4. And here is the Week 5 results as we see Indianapolis still dominating as they now have a 2-game lead over everyone else, as New York now has the 2nd seed, and My Charm are now the 3rd seed. As looking as Jacksonville had the 2nd seed, now they've fallen all the way down to the 4th seed due to tiebreakers, as Philadelphia's 5th and Boston is 6th. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, Oakland has the tiebreaker for right now, as the Tacoma Slashers are 2nd, and then Kansas City had a chance to take the lead in the division, but now they've lost 2 in a row and now the 3rd seed, as Staleys are trying to make a comeback as they're the 4th seed, followed by Seattle and then San Diego to wrap it all up. And then here is the schedule for Week 6 as it's going to start off with Seattle at Baltimore, then it'll be Indianapolis at Kansas City, and then it'll be Jacksonville at Oakland. That'll be big. And then in the other games will be New York at Chicago. That could be interesting. San Diego at Boston. And finally Philadelphia at Tacoma. And with that, that'll wrap up this week. So see you guys next time for Week 6.